I would like to describe what we refer to as Unified Communications Platform, right, or UCP. This product can support all the voice and data needs of a typical business, right? This particular product is essentially created, or we build this product using the Cisco routers, right? The particular model that we have been shipping with is the 8300 model, which is Cisco's most recent, newest router, right? So taking a router allows us to not only support the telephony features as well as the data features, and this particular diagram shows what the router looks like, right? At the bottom half, this is where some of the routing functions occur, and the top half is where the Ethernet switch resides. So between the two, we have the Ethernet switch, so you can connect all the IP phones and the PCs right into this box, and all the routing functions are at the bottom, right? So let's see how this will all work, right? So coming from the left-hand side, as you can tell, I've shown a carrier. It could be AT&T, it could be Verizon. They bring in internet over fiber typically these days. It could be fiber here, or it could even be, in certain cases, it could be still a DSL line. But either way, the voice and data traffic comes into the customer prem, it hits this router, right? And then the router does several functions. First of all, it is a router, so it does the typical function that one would expect the router to be doing. Namely, it serves like a firewall. It allows certain session border functions are also integrated into it, and so forth, right? But the beauty of Cisco's router is that it also has an IP PBX built in. That PBX function is already built into the router itself, right? So that's why we are able to support the telephony functions right out of this box. Also, as some of the businesses would need, they would typically, besides the PBX, the business would require for example, a voicemail system, right? Or they will also probably want some kind of a conferencing platform. So what Cisco does, it also sells what we call a server module. The server module fits right into the router itself. And the server module is very powerful. So we are able to create multiple virtual machines on the server module. So shown here, for example, are two virtual machines in the red color. So one on the left, we are able to install a Cisco Unity connection system, which provides the voicemail function, the auto attendant, and also the capability to send the voicemails as part of the email, right? So all of that comes from Cisco Unity connection, and that is installed on a virtual machine on this physical server module. Similarly, for businesses who would need conferencing capabilities, we are able to take the XOP's USN platform. This is what the XOP calls Universal Service Node. It supports multiple value-added services. By installing a USN, we can enable audio and video conferencing and even web conferencing using our own software. We are also able to support emergency conferencing for certain businesses who need always-on hoot and holler conferencing. That application can also reside right here. And further, we also support mass notification. So all of these value-added services can come out of this virtual machine, which is inside this physical server, which we call the server module. So by integrating the IPPBX function, integrating the voicemail function, and integrating all of this conferencing function, we now have a platform that can meet pretty much all the needs of a typical business, right? And in certain cases, customers sometimes ask us to also connect to analog phones. In those situations, we simply install a Cisco's FXS module, even though, it has certain number of ports. We have various types of port configurations available from Cisco. Based on the size required, we can put n number of analog phones if needed. right? If the customer is keen on having, trunks from the central office, which are also analog, then we can provide that by adding a FXO module. So the bottom line is, by installing a variety of network interface modules that Cisco can provide, we can pretty much meet all the needs of what a typical customer would ask for. Right? Moving on this side, even though I didn't mention it earlier, the carrier is bringing internet, obviously the data traffic for the internet as well as voice. Voice in this case is typically carried as SIP trunks, right? So SIP channels come in over from the public network. They integrated within the router itself, and the router function then takes those voice calls, connects it into the IPPBX, and IPPBX ultimately connects to the IP phones, right? And all the data traffic is routed to the PCs. So the bottom line is, by using this kind of architecture, which is essentially based on Cisco's router, we are able to provide to a business with all of their telephony needs as well as all their data needs. That's what this is all about.